Hi, my name is Michael Hunt. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Apple company and give you a history of the company, tell you about the manufacturing process, give you a list of the products that it has created, and also tell you about some of the competitors that are trying to match the success of the Apple company. Apple is the epitome of the technology sector. It is one of the most sought after companies, one of the most popular companies that are around in the world. It's because of their history and their determination to stay ahead of the game when it comes to technology and their ability to adapt to what's going on around them. It all started back in 1976, on April 1st, whenever Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak got together and decided to create the company. They started inside of their garage, making the Apple One. Both of these guys were college dropouts, no education. They were a bunch of pranksters, guys who loved to pull pranks on the college that they were at and do different things like that. But they had a passion for technology. They had a passion for advancing these things, and so they decided to try and to make something out of their joking and fun that they had of the technology sector. They wanted to do something positive. The Apple One was created. It didn't have a mouse or keyboard or any kind of external hardware. It was just a screen. It grossed about $7.8 million his first year. And then they decided to do something different. They made the Apple II. This was the first computer with the graphic design. And this topped out at $117 million this first year. So that really got the wheels turning for the company. A few years later, Steve Wozniak decided to retire and get out of the industry. And that's whenever John Sculley come into the picture. And him and Steve Jobs didn't see eye to eye at first. And that's what had caused Steve Jobs to leave the company and to go, and he made his own company called Next Software, where it is instrumental in the company of Pixar. And Steve Jobs was big into the graphic design, and he was instrumental in Toy Story, Finding Nemo, Monsters Incorporated, and different movies like that, and they're very popular as we know it today. Then we go into and after a while, Apple company began to struggle. They began to struggle after the plans that Steve Jobs had laid out after they had ran out, and now was being ran in by John Sculley. He didn't have the same outlook on the technology sector that Steve Jobs did. He had a mind for advancing the company, even whenever 5 years down the road, it had a way of writing out plans and different things. So the company kind of failed for a little bit. In 1996, it was at its lowest point. And that's whenever it bought out Next Software, which was the company that Steve Jobs made. And then we go in to then, and the board of directors said, hey, we want to make Steve Jobs the CEO of the company. And of course, he accepted. And after then, that was when the company really started back into where it is today. This was the first mark of the MP3 players that we know of, MP3 files and different, the iPod. That was whenever that really launched back. And that's some of where we are today with the history of Apple Incorporation. Manufacturing process is a very detailed yet secretive process that goes along. You have a couple designers that are out constantly designing products, and they have a review board every Monday where the top executives of the company and only the designers are inside of that room. No one else, just the top people in the company. And what they do is they select a design, and they go just with that design. They work on one product at a time. They don't try to overdo it because they believe that if they put so much work into one product that it would be very successful. And that's why you only see a couple of products released every so often. But once it goes from the design process, it goes into the manufacturing process where it is made. This is where it gets real scary, honestly. They have what they call the EPM Mafia. They are literally guards with guns that carry out the plans from the company here in America all the way into the companies that it's outsourced to, such as Foxconn in China and other companies that it's outsourced to. And they are guarded. And once the product is finished, it is guarded until it gets back to the distribution centers here in America. That protects the integrity of the product. It ensures that no one has the ability to leak the information of the company or leak what's going on inside of Apple. And that's really, to me, what brings the success of the company, is being detailed yet secretive about what they do as a company. Some of the products that it makes, many of us have one of these. I mean, the iPhone is the trademark, the Apple. Everyone knows what the Apple iPhone is. Also the iPad. I have one myself. iPads. They're very convenient. They're a touchscreen computer basically. Also, you have the iMac, the MacBook Pro, which is a laptop. Then you also have some people still have iPods, which are the music players and do play games and different things. Here recently, they came out with an AirPods, which are the ear pods for your ear. You can listen to music. They're wireless, no cords. You don't get the cords tangled up, and you can do anything you want to talk on the phone. And also, if you like watches, Apple Watches. Apple Watches have become very popular. You can text on them. You can make phone calls on them. So pretty much everything you can do with your phone. And these are what make Apple Company what they are. I mean, these guys, they come out almost every 6 months with a new product, with a new phone. Here recently, it's been the iPhone, the iPhone X, the iPhone XS Max, and also the iPhone XR, which is a neat little feature on there. You can have your face of an animal, and you can talk, and it mimic what you say. So very advanced technology, and that's always staying ahead of the game, because you have a commercial about something like that, an advancement in the technology, and you're going to get people's attentions. And I believe that's what's got Apple so successful here today. Some of the competitors that it has, we have Dell. Dell computers are very popular still. We also have Lenovo is another company, a software company, and also Microsoft. Just companies, and Samsung. Samsung is another one because it also has the wireless phones, Samsung phones. But none have been able to match, to me, in my opinion, what Apple has been able to do. Apple has just been the epitome of the technology sector. These guys have maximized their profit. As I said, they are the first company to be worth $1 trillion. That in itself, explains the success of the company and all that they have done for the technology sector, and it continues to get more and more. I believe that the quality of their product is what makes them stick out above anyone else. Thank you. This has been Michael Hunt with the Apple Incorporation.